Hi, my name is C, and today I'm unboxing for you from Makemarket. These are all kits that I have gifted from a friend, and I know she picked them up from Michael's. Two of these were a birthday gift. This one was just a Christmas gift I had laying around, so I figured I would open all these together. I am so excited to take a peek at this one because it is so little, and I want to see this frame. So I'm going to crack into this one first. These are all round kits. They are all full canvas. I don't have any partials this time around. And these are nice, like, small little kits. I'm pretty sure this one says 22, but I'm pretty sure, like, that is the most I've ever paid for one of these Makemarket kits. Yeah, so they're fairly cheap. They're nice quality. I've worked on several. I like them, but let's take a peek at one of these and see what's on here and if I'll be adding specials. Okay, so first up, a very quick look at the box. We have there, sometimes they come out with these like series of kits. This one was part of their summer. I expect late August, sometime around there, a like fall line to drop. No guarantees on that, but they do these like seasonal collections. Their branding is on the front, but the project looks completed. That little round to tell us the diamond shape, and then a look at that completed kit that wraps around the box. That's neat. And then this is 27.9 by 35.3 centimeters. And then on the back here we actually have all the contents listed. It has 48 colors and then a quick how-to. So let's go this side. Okay. We'll look at that in a second. In here, here's that canvas, followed by a bunch of other stuff. This is such a sweet little piece. So, it looks like the edges are already trimmed, and it will fit perfectly in these bars for hanging. And then there's just enough room there for those bars. Still has that little gap along the edge that I usually see with these kits about rendered artwork. But this looks nice. You don't have usually, and I'll show you this with the other ones, usually there's like strips of extra fabric and you have your legends on the side. In this case, it is just a piece of paper that is off to the side here. And yeah, as usual, this kit has a lot of letters for the symbols, numbers, and then just a couple of random symbols. Actually, some lowercase letters down there too. Nice. So this is 48 colors. And then we just get the skew down at the bottom, which is also at the very top of this little walking legend. And it matches the diamonds. Oh, that's neat. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. We also had in here the Makemarket diamond art instruction kit. So this tells us just how to do it and how to frame, some tips and care instructions. And then on the back you have the French side. Fun fact, for products sold in Canada, they have to have French and English on them. So we also had a little toolkit rolled up in there. It's just your basic toolkit, your pen and squishy, your some pieces of wax in a little container. These are nice. Bag of baggies, you could get up into these if you wish. I have smaller ones that I like to get up into. So that is that. And then a tiny little tray. So very basic toolkit. And then we also have our diamonds here. It's really hard to see on these smaller kits, but there's a look at those colors. So briefly, I'm going to zoom in quickly before I get too much further ahead of myself. So these ones actually have some fairly clear printing. Sorry, I'm getting over a cold, so I'm a little out of breath. But this one, the Make Market kits include these bright red symbols. They are not my favorite. I find in some lighting they're a little tricky to see. They tend to look a little bit more blurry in my mind. But for under 20 bucks a kit, I am more than willing to forgive it and keep working on these guys. But yeah, as you can see, that's just a brief little look at the symbols. They are printed fairly clearly. It is this different, like, canvasy material. And as you can see, I'll show you right now since we're zoomed in. This kit has a lot more confetti, of course, with all the details. It just means a lot more colors in a small section compared to, we'll take a peek at this, we'll take a peek at the sky, where you have some like rows of the same color. That would be like color blocking. So you're using the same color for a little bit longer. Alright. Obviously in this kit I expect a lot more confetti because it is a smaller image. But it'll look really nice, I think. Okay. This is just going to be fun to do all of that confetti. It's going to look so pretty. Anyways, okay, let's crack this open. Now, this is bouncing. With Make Market kits, I actually don't have a DMC to read it out to you. And I think because this is a smaller one, they just actually put this symbol right on the front of the baggie. So that'll be interesting to, I was going to say kit up. But I don't know if this is one I would actually like kit up properly, or just kind of choose a color and find that on the canvas. That might actually be what I do considering the size of it. Or maybe not. This one would be a fun little kit to do that whole start to finish video on. I'm just thinking a lot at this point. Anyways, there's some very pretty colors in here. Lots of browns, but also some really pretty blues. Yeah, they even got the symbols right on the bag too. Sorry, that's interesting. Let's see. Okay. Huh. I don't know how I would want to get this one up. I have some thinking to do. That might get confusing. I mean, not on the baggies because you have the numbers down here to tell you which way it is. But working on canvas, I mean, if I rotate things around, I'll have to be cautious of that. But yeah, I really love these colors. Well, this is going to be fun. Okay, that is all the colors. This one doesn't actually come with any specials, but where did that box go? Alright, so I think it would be really fun. I'm going to show it here and then I'll point it out better here. I think it would be really fun to add, there was all those whites, so I think adding some white AB in here would be fun, some white and blues, even some sort of like tan color along the sand here, and then something in these greens. So that would be the white highlighting along the edge here, and then I'm thinking some sort of deeper blue within the water to kind of really make it sparkle like how beaches and that do. And then some sort of like these nines could be replaced with something like tan, maybe a fairy dust would be pretty. Also, I think a fairy dust, like some sort of green fairy dust right along in here would be nice. What do you think? I think that's what I'll do. Of course, I'm not actually purchasing anything. That would just be me going through whatever extras I have from working on kits that I'd be using. I don't feel the need to go out and purchase them for these makeup therapy kits. I think the Make Markets are perfect for using extra specials. Okay, so let's see what we got here. So these must just be magnets. So yeah, when I'm done, I can totally just slide them on and I'm good to go. I might trim that a bit. Actually, yeah, I might trim that just a slightest touch so it's not hanging at the bottom like that. It's really hard to see. But anyways, that is, does this one have a name? Sunset Beach. So that's Sunset Beach. Let me go grab the next one. Alright, so here's the next one. This one is 40.6 by 50.8. There's 47 colors, so that's surprising. Oh hey look, the wrapping paper's still here. This is just called Skull. So, like, I don't think I opened this one. No, I didn't. I just opened. Anyways, okay. This one also has the red symbols. I don't. Okay, so that measurement I gave you of 40 by 50 is actually these black lines on the outside of the canvas. That's what they're measuring in here, not the rendering field, just that line. And this is a really good look at the difference between those two, because this one has the full canvas along the edge. It's the same material, but it also has the scalloped edges that help with prevent fraying. And then we also have our legends on both sides. Still just the skew of the kit for any sort of marking. I have said this before about Make Markets, and I will say it again. I would really like to see some sort of like kit name or artist written on these kits as well. You know, I always like to see who creates these images. I'm sure they have in-house artists and it's all legally licensed, but I would like to see who. I'm always curious what other artwork people do. But anyways, I'm gonna throw out all of this again. This kit definitely has a lot more color blocking, but it looks like an even mix. So like patches of color within this background, but then you get into the book and you have a lot of lines and different colors being used. But this looks nice. The red symbols still throw me off a little bit. They always will, but again, for like a $20 kit, I'm assuming I didn't pay for this one. My friend, it was a gift. My friend did. I'm not complaining at all. I truly enjoy these Make Market kits. Anyways, this is gonna be neat. Still, yeah. Letters, some symbols. Let's take a look at these diamonds. So there's our color palette, lots of browns and grays. As I expected, some greens, that'll be neat. Probably a much better way to do that. Unlike the previous kit, we still have that skew there, but we actually have the number. It's not the symbol number, it's actually just the bag number here, and then we have our symbol. Ooh, I missed this one looking. They actually do include the DMC number now. That's amazing. I don't store these diamonds, so I don't really care. But I know a lot of people do like having these DMC numbers. I only store specials, Other than that, I'd toss. But that's neat. Actually, that'll make swapping out for specials so much easier. Anyways, let's look at some of these colors. Slightly surprised they wouldn't be printed on the bags too, but I mean, you have all the information there to match them up. So that would be fairly simple. Doing this the opposite way of how I usually do it because of I want the numbers in order. But these look like really nice colors. And I also find that Make Market kits have super shiny rounds. They're really nice to work with. And usually not static prone either. I don't know if you've noticed, but there's no diamonds like really clinging to the bags. They kind of move around freely, so there's really no static in here, which is nice. Alright. In terms of this image, would I add any specials? I might add some yellows into the scrolls over here. Something on these books, depending what color that is, and maybe some EVs right in that feather. Other than that, I think that is, ooh, maybe something in the reflection of this metal. So on the canvas, that would be these colors right along the book here. Some of these yellows in here, something to highlight within this feather there. And then yeah, highlights in this candle holder. Maybe something coppery for this too. That might be, I was gonna see if it was on the outside of the box. It's not. That might be nice as well. We'll see. Okay, I got one more to show you and then I'll wrap up. Okay, so the last one I have is the same size, 40.6 by 50.8. This one has 38 colors and it is called Cliffside Go. Alright. Ooh, this is dusty. Oh no. I ripped it. Ouch. It's because there's still tape on it. Alright. Okay, so that's pretty. Okay. Look. That folding thing I just did, don't do with anything but double-sided adhesive. Or sorry, don't do with double-sided adhesive. It's okay to do that with poured glue. Poured glue bounces back. It's easy to tell because most poured glue canvases actually have this clear cover on the top, which I didn't mention, but this one's different. I think this might just be an older style Make Market kit. I'll show you what I mean in just a second. They have a nice, like, thicker plastic cover, which I like. Okay, anyways, this is super pretty. Of course. Color blocking sky and the water down in here, but everywhere else is pretty much confetti. But it'll look really, really nice. Like, this is pretty just as is. Let me grab a skull again and I can show you what I mean by some differences. So, this one doesn't have it, but let's zoom on in. It kind of does. So first up, you can see the legend on the older styles just has the serial number, or the bag number, plus the symbols, and you can actually kind of see like a small difference. The image completely cuts out on these guys, on that round circle around the symbol. But then on Skull, a newer kit to what I know, you have the bag number, the symbol, the DMC, and then that color kind of stands out behind, like in between these circles. I don't know how clear I'm explaining that, but you can kind of see this one really goes in and has that scalloped look to it, where this one's a little bit smoother. So anyways, just something I noticed. Okay. And then comparatively, that one sticks up at the top. Okay, cool. This looks really nice though. Okay, I'm going to check out these extras. And let's... Oh, this is so pretty. I like how Makemarket has these smaller kits. I mean, I work on a lot of really big ones, as we've known. But it's really nice to have some of these smaller landscapes to work on. Okay. These are colors, again, more neutrals and some greens. I think we have a pretty good idea of what DMC these twos are. And it's nice to see some landscapes in round two. I guess I'm used to just really liking bigger landscapes with all that detail, but there are some nice small ones out there too. Again, oh, that's a nice green. Again, I'm just rambling at this point. This one also has the in this case, it is listed as a serial number on the legend. Some blues. Oh, there's 2 bags of that brown. Neat. Yeah. These are some pretty colors here. These like pinky, reddy. Those are very pretty. So is that purple. Oh, just the teeniest handful of white. Okay, so let's zoom out just a touch for a second and grab that box again. And let's see. My first instinct to add some specials to this would be this lime green along the edge of the cliff here. Usually I say to keep ABs out of the sky, but that may be a nice fairy dust to highlight right in there. And then of course some ABs on the side of the lighthouse. I wouldn't add anything in here because this is all dark and shadowed, but you can see the light hits along the edge of the cliff here, so maybe a green and a brown, and then the light comes from there, so something there too. So yeah, like some sort of green, probably green and brown AB right along the edge here, and of course some highlighting over here, a bright white AB along the edge of the lighthouse here, and then some sort of fairy dust in this brightest piece there. I think that's what I would do for specials. I'm gonna have to dig through my storage and see if I have anything for those, but we shall see. Oh, maybe some sort of gray to just add onto the rocks as well over here. That would be fun. Okay, so that is 3 kits from Makemarket. Let me know your thoughts. Have you worked on them? Do you like Makemarket? Okay, and I'll leave this one here. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.